This interview is for information only and should not be considered as investment advice or a recommendation to buy shares in the company featured. Welcome to this Stock Box interview.
Joining us today is Matt Lofgren, the CEO of Nostra, Terra Oil and Gas. Thank you very much for joining us today, Matt. How are you?
Doing great, Mark. Happy to be here. Thank you.
Well, thank you for talking to us. It's been a little while since we spoke. I wonder if we can perhaps just get a bit of an idea of the overall picture of where Nostra Terra are at the moment. If you can perhaps give us the elevator pitch, and then we can talk about the recent news today.
Sure. Yeah. So Nostra Terra is an oil and gas company, E&P, exploration production, meaning that we're out there and we're looking for places to drill, and we're producing. So we're more focused on the production side, hence the reason why we have producing assets over in East Texas, West Texas, and South Texas. Those are the three areas. We did our interim announcement. That was the second to last announcement that we had out this year. And on our interims, we had a profit for the company, which it's pretty rare for most companies out there on AIM. And we're profitable at $70 oil. That was the average price for the year for our sales.
Okay, and is that the first time you've been in profit?
At the company level, sure, yes.
Right. Okay, and that's it's pure Pine Mills, isn't it? Is where you're most prolific with the oil production.
Yeah. So about 80% of our production comes out of the Pine Mills area. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And the announcement today, then, just explain a little bit about what that is. You've entered into a partnership, I understand, with Cypress Minerals to sort of explore and develop in the East Texas area. So, what is this all about? This partnership?
Yeah, so part of what happened with our production being able to increase the way it did was through these new wells that were drilled previously with Cypress. And so our Pine Mills asset is 2,400 acres. Within that 2,400 acres, we carved out a little 80-acre corner of that was undrilled. And Cypress had identified using a large seismic survey over our acreage, but also beyond that. So they had used this survey and they narrowed in and said, we'd like to carve off that 80 acres and drill some wells. And that 3D seismic is able to look for things that you aren't able to find, doing traditional geology, excuse me. Mm-hmm. So we were able to go in there and find those new wells that ended up being very good wells. Payback on the first one was under a year. The second one was at 3 months. Now the first one would have been probably 3 months as well, but the only reason it wasn't was because we were on a choke. We had the restricted back due to field limits. And we were able to release or get rid of those field limits and get those up there so we could produce those unrestricted, hence the reason why that second well paid out in 3 months. Okay. And that's remarkable. I mean, when you look in the industry, you're trying to get a payback on your portfolio within 3 years. And here these wells are doing it within months. That's pretty exciting. So if you see something like that, you want to go after it in a bigger way.
Right. Okay. So this was in a little 80 area patch that was undrilled. And you say that you identified new wells, one paid back in a year, which should have been quicker, one paid back in 3 months. So is this sort of announcement that you've made today, this partnership, is that an extension of that to find more wells?
Exactly. So the area where the seismic covers our acres, that 2,400 acres. So the next thing for us to do is to look for more of those Falk type wells within our acreage. And that's, again, we've carved out 80 acres for that of the 2,400. Now we're going to go to the rest of that 2,400. In addition, we're taking our interest from 32.5% to 87.5% interest.
Okay.
So the next step is to go into the rest of the Pine Mills area, look for more of those Falk type opportunities.
Okay.
But beyond that, we've got 80,000 acres that we're going after. And that 80,000 acre area, that's more than 30 times bigger than Pine Mills already.
Indeed. Okay. So in terms of what you were doing now, then, I mean, I guess you've seen an opportunity here. So the next steps will be going out and looking for more Falk type opportunities. Is that through seismic, as you say, or actually drilling? How do you go and prove more of these wells?
Yeah, you use the seismic survey to identify other locations. I mean, the seismic really helps you with the right team in place, of course, but the seismic will help you identify more of those locations, and then you'll go out and drill those.
Okay, and then in terms of the 80,000 that you mentioned, how does that fit into the picture?
It's massive. I mean, it's going to give us a lot of time, a lot of runway out there to go and explore.
But is that an area that you want to get, you're going after? What is it? Something that's
right now we have the 2,400 acres. So beyond that, if we find any other locations, then we'll lease them up and drill.
Okay, but you've got effectively prospecting to that 80,000. Yeah.
Correct. We have the data over that. We have a survey over that entire area.
Okay. So you're making money, profitable, certainly over $70 a barrel. What have you got in mind? What are your targets then, really? I mean, do you have a certain production number in mind? It's nice to be in a profitable situation. Obviously, you've got to go and spend some money, I guess, to prove up more wells. So, I mean, what would be your sort of ideal scenario, really, in terms of ramping up here? Is what it sounds like you want to do.
Yeah, we don't have a target that we're putting out there right now, but when you look at the Falk wells and what they've done, coming on at over 100 barrels a day and staying very strong. I mean, both Falk wells, they're not producing any water yet. It's really remarkable again. But our plan is to go out there and add more of those, and there's other formations as well. There's plenty of other formations out there.
Okay.
But if you look at what those Falk wells have done, and you add let's just say another one Falk well with an 87% interest, then you start to get an idea of what that is. Because if you're ticking along as it is, and you add all that production, that's free cash flow.
Okay. And when would you want to be getting active in this? And do you have the cash to support further activities?
As far as the cash goes, we've got different funding opportunities for that. If you look at what we've done, the fundraise that we just announced, that's the last fundraise we had done in 3 years.
Okay.
So we do have the ability with different financing facilities. We also have partners that are interested in coming in as well. So there's different ways to fund that, as well as divesting some of our assets, our non-core assets. So that can make a big difference for us. So we're not, we just went to the market. We're not looking to go and do that anytime soon, but we are already after the seismic program, and it's already active. We've already turned that on.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for giving us that update. I'm sure we'll be talking again soon. We can follow the progress as you look for these other wells. But for now, thank you very much for your time, Matt Lofgren, the CEO of Nostra, Terra Oil and Gas.
Great. Thank you, Mark.
If you enjoyed this interview, then give us a thumbs up, a like or a retweet. Subscribe to us on YouTube or follow us on Twitter, and hit that notification bell to be the first to know when we release new content. There's loads of great content on our website too, across all our programs at stockboxmedia.com. Thank you for watching.